This is a very important video for people who are going through or maybe have experienced some form of uncontrolled energy rising in the body. I'm referring in particular to this thing called Kundalini, which I thought wasn't real, especially because I never met somebody who does Kundalini Yoga or these Kundalini practices who reported something to me, or who I could say this person really went through a change, powerful change. In this video, I would like to share a little bit what worked for me in terms of dealing with this really powerful, uncontrolled experience of life, which I don't encourage anybody to go after if there is no proper training and foundation behind, because it can really mess up our life. And talking to Shifu also, he said that sometimes people get in contact with him and they were in a very, very, very bad position. So when I talked to him about what was happening to me, he was saying that, you're dealing with it very well. And I think that it was due to the fact that I had 7 years of training in the Nei Qi Gong practice on my back. So I was already familiar with certain kind of powerful energy experiences. My body was working, of course, is working already in a very different way of how it was before. My grounding, my personal experiences, which go beyond the ordinary, were already there, because when you do this kind of practice, you realize actually how limited is our perception of life, because Nei Qi Gong can really take us into another perception of the world in various aspects of our life, even through senses and also different kind of perception. So in this video, I would like to share a little bit what worked for me. And the first one will be probably, I would say don't do it at home, as sometimes they say, because that's a dangerous thing to do on your own. This Kundalini practice, don't sign up for something that you don't even know what can bring in your life, because psychosis and serious imbalances are around the corner. So if you want to hear a little bit about the experience that I had a month ago now, you can watch the video on my YouTube channel, where I share something like 10 days after that I had this experience, 2 weeks more or less. But now that 1 month went by, let's say past, I feel that things went back to normal, although the horse is always right there to jump. And I feel that it's time to keep practicing again my own stuff that I was doing, that I stopped for a little bit, to ground myself, to integrate that force as a new force inside, which is great actually. It was just difficult in the beginning to deal with. But what did I do to cope with it? Well, I stopped any kind of spiritual interest, and I'm a very, I don't like this word, spiritual guy, in the sense that my goal has always been to go beyond the common way of living, so to speak, to find experiences and answers, or rejoin with something that is greater than me. So I stopped everything. I almost developed some kind of rejection towards that. I focused myself on very simple stuff, such as walking, focusing on my feet, hands, when this internal rush was taking over my own body without control. Enjoying food, physical stuff, pleasure, even sex, which sometimes I lived like an eremit for a very long time, and it was kind of weird to go back into that mode. But I feel so blessed actually to have had that experience and ground myself back into life. Another thing that really helped, for instance, was resting and doing physical exercises. So physical exercises in my case were like qigong, which is an Nei Qi Gong practice, Jin, which is a practice that I learned from the Shaolin Europe temple by watching some videos, which is something that I usually don't recommend, because we don't really understand the mechanics of things. But having a little bit of experience after 7 years and more actually, of doing my work, I felt that I could do that, practicing daily, almost daily. I noticed that was a great thing. So qigong, Jin, Jin, Tai Chi was great. Tai Chi was great because it's very grounding, but at the same time opens the body, there is a flow. So I felt it was a very good solution to help me deal with this issue. But of course I had to stop like the advanced programs that I was doing, like the Fa Chi, because it was too much. And I think maybe this experience happened also because I was pulling too much out, too much white energy out, that maybe it's bad to do a Fa Chi, because it really, you're throwing your vital energy outside. So it's an effort, it's something not good to do. But when we train, we have to train every day on that practice. So the other thing that I could think of was, as I said, stopping any kind of spiritual interest, stopping any kind of research on spiritual subject, focusing on life, daily life, which I said for a person like me, totally inclined towards spiritual stuff, was a kind of odd. All of the sudden, you know, pulling everything out of the way and just being a normal human being, maybe going out. I was really helpful, for instance, talking with people, because during the experience of this Kundalini rise, I went through some kind of very vivid, colorful experiences, sounds, frequencies. So talking with somebody, could be a family member, could be a friend, was actually a great way to be engaged here 100%. And actually really allowed to flourish some kind of greater connection, because somehow you are kind of pulled upwards, but at the same time you are here. So even I think people were noticing, and I had some feedback, something going on with myself at the time. So my suggestion is, don't mess up yourself with this kind of practices. Make sure that you know what you're doing. If it happens, at least just giving my advice, anybody can do whatever they feel is right. In fact, in my case, after some days, that was a week or 10 days, I was going through this powerful stuff. I couldn't sleep, and because there was so much going on inside the body that I couldn't sleep, I did a little research. I don't like to do video, Google research or things like this. I don't like the web that much. But I saw all the symptoms, and I saw all the suggestions, which were the things I was thinking of. Being human as much as you can. Don't try to go up more and more. Because actually, I think if something like this will happen in your life, I hope it will not, or hopefully in the right time, you really want to come back to life, because things get quite crazy, quite psychotic, and quite out of control. And even the energy field is in yourself, it's weird, it's unbalanced. I know it might sound like a new age word, the energy field, but actually when you do a certain work, you become like a field. Hopefully if you feel like you want to reach for something, please do that or comment. At the same time, I feel that many people go through not really Kundalini awakenings or things like this, but because nowadays everything is kind of diluted in the spiritual world. Everybody is having Kundalini, everybody is having that, everybody talks about Qi deviation of this, because we go on this dumb YouTube, or we trust some people and that they are more knowledgeable than us. And we believe that we are going through some stuff. But actually, when this Kundalini happens, it's very, very powerful. It's not something that happens only one day. It's something that goes along with you for weeks. And then it takes even time to understand how to handle it, because it's something that it's there available, and it is a good thing. But, it's like now you have a horse, so you have to learn how to ride it. Otherwise, you're going to be messed up. So I hope that could be helpful. I invite you not to think that you are having something in particular, you experience something in particular, more to get in touch with somebody who can really give you a piece of advice. That's the reason why I think it's super important to have a teacher, somebody who has walked that path before, because in this continuous search of answers on YouTube, Facebook group, everybody's saying anything that it doesn't have any foundation. We get confused, we get lost, and we think that we are sick or we have such a deviation of Kundalini, when in reality we're experiencing something else. So if something like this happens, try to get in contact with somebody who can give you some help. If not, my suggestion is ground yourself as much as you can with human being stuff and cut off any kind of interest towards spirituality for a while. Don't worry, it's going to come back because it's just an integration phase. And I think this could be very helpful, at least for me was. But again, I had 7 years of daily training in the back, so I wasn't like a new guy experiencing something for the first time. I had already certain kind of experiences which were powerful, but not like, out of control like this Kundalini thing. So I hope that this video was interesting or even helpful. That was the reason why I wanted to share these grounding tips, so to speak. This is all that I'm thinking at the moment. If I have some more, maybe I will put it on the comment, but that's it.